Hey guys, today I wanted to address two questions that are very much tied together. They come up a lot and I think they're very important. The first, how do you stay motivated? And the second, how do you stop being lazy? Very good questions, and I feel that every single successful person out there has their own sort of answer to these two questions. So let me give you mine. Hopefully it'll be useful. Most of my life, I was never very motivated. I would have these waves of motivation. They'd come and they'd go, and when they went, I would sit around just kind of hoping they would miraculously show up again, not realizing that that's not how it works, that motivation is a very fickle thing, and that successful people learn that you cannot rely on motivation. Successful people learn how to function with or without it every single day systematically. I'll tell you how I do it in a little bit. And in regards to laziness, I think it's a very important thing to understand that as humans, we have this ability to think that everything we experience, all the emotions, are very much unique to us. But you have to understand that every single person in the world suffers from the same problems. Everyone is by default lazy. It is the easiest thing to do. It requires no energy, no effort. It's just the default state of being. Conserving energy, not putting in extra work when you have everything. Food, water, shelter. The modern human being doesn't need to do much to survive. That's why laziness is such a big issue in modern society, because we have the basics to survive. How do we make ourselves do more? By evolutionary design, we are meant to conserve energy in such a situation, not expend it. But what I wanted to say is that it's such an important thing to realize that every single person, me included, and every successful person you can think of, Elon Musk, he probably also would find it easy to be lazy, but he chooses not to be. It's a choice. It's an understanding that being lazy is just easy, and you don't want to take the easy path. The path of least resistance, the path that requires no effort, no energy. And I also feel, speaking from personal experience, that we often behave and we think and act as though our days were unlimited. And I don't mean to bring this up in a dark sort of matter, but I think it's so important to understand that our days are limited, our days are numbered. I, for example, remind myself every single day that I have around 15,000 days left of life. Every single day I imagine like just ticking one off. It's important because it changes your way of thinking and your decision making sort of in your head, and you kind of approach problems, especially personal problems related to like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. And you're like, son of a bitch, I'm not gonna cross this day off as one I didn't do anything because I didn't feel like it, because I wanted to just lay on the couch and watch TV. I'm not gonna choose that. I'm not gonna make that choice. That's the easy choice. That's the choice most people would make. I wanna try to lead an extraordinary life. I have one shot at this. Get your shit together, Rob. Like, I often have these internal dialogues, and it's like every single day is a battle. And I mean that in a positive sense. It's like a systematized battle. Like, I get up and sometimes I don't necessarily feel like going to work, but I know that once I get there, start doing things, that emotions follow actions. And that's another important point. Motivation doesn't just create itself. You have to make an effort to make it appear. You start doing something, you see a little bit of like result, and then it starts coming on, and then it just snowballs. And I have this pretty much every single day. So yeah, 15,000 days. Everybody watching probably has between 15 and 20,000 days of life left. Think of it in that sort of context. It changes everything. I spent so many years just really not doing anything, and just like thinking back to that old version of Rob, it's like he just saw this wall, lazy here and success here, and he not necessarily didn't know how to go over it, but he just didn't really want to. Like, he was making a conscious choice to keep putting off those little things that he wanted to do. So people like write to me, Rob, I want to do this and that, but I can't find the motivation to do it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that sounds like the old me. Like, Everybody goes through that. And I have news for you. You are not unique. You are not special. You are just making a conscious choice to avoid the difficult step of actually doing, expending that energy, putting in the hard work. It's your choice. And you know, you could watch all the videos you want about laziness and motivation. You can listen to me talk shit forever. But if you don't get your ass up and actually do something, do anything, those positive emotions will never have the opportunity to follow those actions. And you'll just be stuck in a lazy, demotivated hole for as long as you choose to be. I had been stuck in that hole for years, so I know what it's like. It's like, it feels like you can't get out, but you can. It's just easier not to. And listen, you're watching this video now. If you're feeling lazy or demotivated, turn this shit off and go do something. Go for a run. Go do something that you typically wouldn't do, and see the little emotions that start following that kind of action where you break through. Like, that is what success is fighting against those instincts of taking it easy and living a comfortable life. Success is a difficult choice, and it's not like you achieve it and then it's easy. No, I fight myself every single day. I feel that's what life is all about, is figuring out how to battle those lazy kind of instincts of just taking it easy, chilling, and realizing that achieving and experiencing the most beautiful things in life requires you going upstream and not just flowing mindlessly downstream. Success is a battle, and it's one that never ends. But the good news is, once you get like your battle experience, you understand that, and you recognize, you know, I woke up today not really motivated, but it's just normal. That's one of the reasons I take a cold shower every day, because it's doing something from the very morning that I really don't want to, that I know is healthy for me, and it makes me feel good after, and it kind of sets my mind for doing things that I don't want to, that I should do, that will lead to further positive emotion. And it's just kind of like fighting against your want of the default state of being comfortable, and finding a way to be comfortable in being uncomfortable continuously, systematically. I tell you this, if success was just a joyride, there would be far more successful people. There's a reason that not many people achieve what they want to do and live the lives they really want to do, because it requires, you know, hard work is one thing, but it requires you to conquer yourself. You are the only one stopping yourself from doing whatever the hell it is that you want to do. There will always be excuses. You can always point fingers at someone else that say someone else has it better. At the end of the day, it's you who chooses to watch TV, to watch YouTube, to browse Facebook when you know you should be doing something else. Close those browsers. Turn the TV off. Go do something that you normally wouldn't. Start leading an unusual life. Don't fall into your patterns, your lazy habits. You gotta keep breaking the pattern, the routines, keeping things on the edge, changing your surroundings, always kind of like figuring out how to resist that urge to just like settle down and sit your ass down and lay down on the couch and just mindlessly watch Netflix. I don't watch any TV. I don't watch any YouTube. You guys sometimes mention other YouTubers. I have no idea who you're talking about, because that is my choice. I don't use social media very much. I sometimes post. I use it maybe 10-15 minutes a day, sometimes scrolling to see what news is up. That's a conscious choice of mine, because I know it's easy to do so, to just keep scrolling, looking at beautiful pictures, and it's a pleasant distraction. Another piece of advice is fight the urge to tell people about what you've accomplished, or what you've done. You know, do it for yourself. You have to understand that nobody gives a shit about what you do with your life. And I don't mean this in a rude way. You know, someone sees my success, they'll be like, oh, they'll forget about it in a few seconds and start thinking about their own problems again. That's how the world works. Everybody's kind of centered around themselves. So you gotta find the energy every single day to do it for yourself, not for the rest of the world, because they don't care. Everybody else is focused on their own problems and their own life. They'll give you a little bit of attention, but they'll go right back to their own. I'll say it again. Remember, everybody feels lazy and demotivated, but it's the people who succeed are the ones who identify that first, and then the ones who start fighting it, and then the ones who figure out how to continue fighting it for the rest of their lives without falling back. And that's why you see people having these like yo-yos in their lives. I have it too, you know, oftentimes. But I try to keep it as stable as possible, just being very, very honest with myself that it's nothing unusual that I feel demotivated, even though I'm, you know, in this crazy office. I sometimes feel lazy, and it's normal, it's natural. But that's the key, is identifying that, understanding that everybody feels it, and figuring out what you can do to kind of break through that every single day. And that's, I think, the definition of success is someone who's figured that out, who's very honest with themselves, and who doesn't feel the need to kind of like tell everybody what they've done, but they just feel this great satisfaction that they are going against their own desire not to and doing it anyway. So remember, you're feeling lazy, demotivated, it's totally normal. Do not point a finger at yourself and say, and sort of compare yourself to others in your head and think, oh, everybody's doing so great. They're also battling these same problems. I'm battling them too. But some people maybe are just figuring out better than you how to overcome them. And never forget, 15,000 days. Keep that in the back of your mind next time you're thinking of making the lazy choice, the easy choice, the choice that will lead you to living an average life. Ask yourself, like, how bad do you want to try living an extraordinary life? You have one shot. Why not give it your all? Why not fight that urge not to, you know, take the risk, not to do the things that you feel uncomfortable with doing? It's the only way forward, is fighting those simple urges. Working for someone, working that job that you're 9 to 5, which you're not really happy about, but it would require so much effort looking for something else. That is your choice, man. Anyone who writes in the comments that, you know, some people's life, they have no choice, bullshit. Every single person has a choice at every single moment. It may be just varying degrees of difficulty in those choices, but you always have a choice. You can always change everything in your life at any point. We have this habit of getting comfortable in our routines and patterns, and then it gets difficult to get out of that because we have always this ability to think of the worst outcome if we do make the difficult decision, but we lack the ability to think what will happen with our life if we do not make the difficult decisions. And I think that's something to be mindful of as well. Try to imagine your life when you make that easy choice next time. What is that going to do? Is that going to keep you away from your dreams? Are you going to regret that later? You know, a lot of opportunities appear only once in life, and you skip that taking the easy choice, they're probably gone forever. To sum up, because this topic gets me kind of heated, because it's a very, very personal one to me, because I've suffered depression for most of my life, and when people tell me that, like, I've had it easy, like, I don't even bother replying to that, because it doesn't matter. There were so many obstacles I had to overcome personally in my head. That's the biggest battle, regardless of the resources or financial situation you're in. It's all here. It really is all here. Success is nothing but a state of mind. It's a mindset. And once you figure that out, you become unstoppable, and you feel the laziness and demotivation still, but you just keep going right through it. Just plow through it. You become this disciplined, like, soldier of success. And discipline is the thing. It's just doing what you're supposed to do day in, day out, regardless of the circumstances. I just feel it's so tragic that so many people settle in their lives because they're unable to find it within themselves to really project how much they will be losing out by not making the difficult decisions, the decisions that could lead to something really beautiful and magnificent in this one life that you have, in these 15,000 days that you have left. We have every single reason to throw ourselves at the world and try to, like, just do what we would even consider unimaginable, just going for it, and kind of just being mindful of that every day makes it so much easier to overcome laziness, motivation. If it helps you, remember, I am also lazy. A little bit of advice, because I've had a slump myself for 2 years, but I didn't train at all. I didn't exercise at all. I got a personal trainer with who I trained 3 or 4 times in our gym at the office here. Houston, if you're watching, she's a monster. It's the most positive sense. She has this ability to squeeze like the 10% out of me. Kind of breaks me mentally, and I like it because It just fortifies my strength to overcome mental weakness, because that is all that success boils down to. The point at which I feel your mind kind of decides to give up and stop trying, I think that's the thing you can raise with experience. Like your pain threshold and your capacity for handling just like that urge to just stop and just, drop those weights and just give up mid-exercise. Breaking through that consistently, you become like this, like I said, a soldier of success, one that is disciplined, one that knows that success truly is a state of mind. It is a mindset. It is one that factors in lack of motivation, laziness, and it is one that teaches you how to systematically overcome that to become the person that you truly want to be, not just in your head, but in reality. Got a little hot talking about that. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you guys next time.